Scripps News Group.
Welcome to Scripps News Weekend. I'm Del Walters in Washington. Today we celebrate America's 250th birthday. Scripps News will be providing coverage all day long. We'll go to some of those Independence Day stories in just a moment, but first, let's take a look at some of today's top stories. Right now in space, they're trying to save a NASA space observatory. There were fears it could fall back to Earth. NASA saying the commercial robotic mission is the first of its kind. The uncrewed craft now orbits the Swift Observatory. Officials say unless they acted, NASA believed that Swift would fall out of orbit. The CDC says that the West Nile virus season this year off to its worst start in more than 20 years, spread by mosquitoes as always. 48 cases now reported across 23 states, most of them considered to be severe. CDC urging people to use EPA-approved bug sprays, wear loose clothing, and stay indoors between dusk and dawn. That's when mosquitoes are most active. We haven't heard the last of the Lincoln Memorial reflecting pool after the 4th. The Interior Department says it will take bids to clean it up. Now, whoever is hired will be responsible for daily maintenance and not just keeping the water clear. They'll also be tasked with removing leaves, debris, and yes, even dead animals from around the site. But first, the repairs. The Park Service plans to drain and fix it after the 4th.
I'm Michael Paluska here on Blackbeard Ranch with Jim Strickland, his horse Clyde. I got my guy Wendell right here, and Jim tells me that Floridians are the original cowboys going back more than 500 years. Before the West was won, the American cowboy was born here in Florida.
About 40 miles south of here were the first cattle in North America in 1521.
Brought in by Spanish conquistador Ponce de Leon. Over time, Florida's changed and a new crop of cowboys have come in.
We try to train our dogs, but we are trying to start training these young cattle to respect the dogs, to hold up, to stay as a group.
Jim Strickland is a 6th-generation Floridian, a rancher and conservationist, facing a never-ending land rush that kicked off more than 500 years ago.
Well, we are. Personally, I've had a lot of leased land that over 100,000 acres I've had leased is now in development. So we know that development is imminent. We know it's coming. Nearly every housing development in Florida used to be a cattle ranch.
And so the ranches that we have now are what most closely mimics that historical landscape before people ever set foot here. Some of the most threatened endangered species in our state exists only on our private ranch lands.
Strickland and his wife, Julie Morris, fell in love with each other because of their mutual love of Florida. Seems like you're a really good yin and a yang. Cowboy and
wildlife biologist, conservationist, but now a fellow rancher.
And everyone thinks he's like the superstar in the conservation field now. I'm like, I'm behind the scenes, which is totally fine. I'm like the policy wonk and the boring one, and he's got the charisma and he's the face, which is perfect.
Conservation work does take a lot of charisma, cattle ranching, true grit. Nothing in Florida comes easy. Drought, heat, hurricanes, parasitic diseases.
We have the threat of foot and mouth disease, or recently like New World screwworm that could devastate our industry. That's tough.
And of course, lightning. Okay, you've had cows hit by lightning?
We had 17 head of bred cows we just bought out of Texas, and got hit by lightning under one oak tree. They do get hit, and I've been hit by lightning. I have been knocked completely out. I was 13 years old, and the next thing I know, I woke up and every horse was down, every man was down. It killed our foreman.
But this is the life they chose, and quitting means turning their backs on the generations of cowboys and cowgirls that led them here, and the ones that will follow. When America turns 500 years old, what do you want Florida to look like?
What do you see over my shoulder? I want to have those opportunities, that we know what is behind your shoulders. Why not protect the source and the core and the heart and the soul of Florida? I think it's perfect for us,
yeah,
and our children,
yeah.
to see them grow up and hopefully they'll want to do the same thing that she and I love to do.
But no matter the hardship, nothing compares to working this land.
But on a day like today, with y'all, you know, filming us, a beautiful day in Florida, it's not raining. These are the good times. These are the good days when you appreciate what we do.
In Mayaca City with photojournalist Randy Wright, Michael Paluska, Scripps News Group.
As we mark 250 years of American independence, I'm revisiting a pivotal and painful part of America's story. I'm Jessica Larche at Fort Monroe, and that story is coming up.
Stay informed wherever you go with Scripps News on YouTube.
We're following breaking news at this hour.
Scan this QR code for a link or go to YouTube and search Scripps News. It's free to subscribe for alerts on new content, top news stories, investigations, full shows, and so much more.
There are stories that need to be told.
Plus, you can live stream Scripps News when you're away from your TV. Find Scripps News on YouTube today.
You know what time it is?
It's game time. We are relentless, stronger, louder, bigger than ever. We are here.
Yo, I said it's game time.
There's some magic right there.
I said it's game time.
That drills it. Are you not entertained?
We are the WNBA on Ion. Friday nights, all season long. It's on Ion.
We're serving up a showdown. From the court to the pitch. A touch. A cross.
Deflect again!
Every volley is a chance at victory. Strike it. Spike it. Block it. Bury it. Don't miss any of the action.
You gotta love that.
Catch all the excitement from the NWSL and MLB on Scripps Sports Network. Athletes Unlimited Softball League is on the Scripps Sports Network. These pros are bringing the heat. Next level power. Next level passion.
Catch it all right here
On Scripps Sports Network.
I didn't hear anybody knock. Shall we proceed?
My ball's the best shot in the whole world. Isn't it exciting?
They call you the rifle man. Just make it good.
The Upshot League is now on Scripps Sports Network, a new professional women's basketball league.
This is the league of opportunity, and we are so excited.
Watch the Upshot League on Scripps Sports Network.
Now on your favorite channel,
Katie, what do you have for us today?
Shop Scripps, the hottest destination for today's latest deals. It's everything you love to shop with exclusive deals at unbeatable savings.
31% off, 50% off, 87% off.
The best deals live at shopscripps.com.
Ion is the home of women's sports. We celebrate the trailblazers, the risk takers, the game changers, and the history makers. Every game, every moment. It's her time on Ion, the home of women's sports.
You're watching Scripps News, part of the Scripps News Group.
As we mark 250 years of America's independence, I'm revisiting a pivotal chapter in our country's story that unfolded here in Hampton. I'm Jessica Larche, and in 1619, the first enslaved Africans to arrive in English North America landed right here in modern-day Fort Monroe. 20 or more souls stolen from Angola, beginning America's foundation for the enslavement of Africans. And I am speaking with some of their descendants about what America's anniversary of independence means to them.
And it's a sacred space.
The African Landing Memorial Plaza at Fort Monroe pays homage to the first enslaved Africans who arrived here on a slave ship in 1619.
This is symbolic. This shows this important piece of history.
We still have the blood of our ancestors running through our veins.
The Tucker siblings say for generations, their family passed down stories about the ancestors that this monument honors.
Our cousin made sure she kept telling the story that we were descendants of William Tucker.
William Tucker, born here in 1624 according to census records, was likely named after Captain William Tucker, the commanding officer of Point Comfort, modern-day Fort Monroe. Listed under Captain Tucker's household, baby William's parents, Anthony and Isabella, 2 of the 20 or more people stolen from Angola, landing here in 1619 on the White Lion slave ship.
We may have been brought here under great duress, but we established anew. The birth of William was the establishment of a new family, of a new hope, and a new vision.
The siblings say they aren't certain if baby William was enslaved, but at some point, some of their family line was.
My ancestors were strong and independent survivors, providers. So I hold on to that.
The Tucker story is American history.
Yes, our ancestors contributed to the construction of America.
The Tuckers say for descendants of the enslaved, marking America's 250th anniversary is complex.
I do struggle with that.
Kind of the irony of celebrating the independence of America in a country that was still enslaving black and brown people.
It's like we celebrate the independence, but what did it take?
We give honor to all of those who survived and the traumas that kept coming.
Trauma evolving to triumph in a place that holds pain and progress. We're sitting here on the monument that is still in progress, but there's a straight line that points to Angola. What does that mean that your ancestors left information for you to know that if you follow this line, it'll point to home?
The line they did not create, but they were a part of the line making.
I can imagine the struggle walking for miles and days to get to a ship.
The means and the methods that were in place that seemed destined to destroy us in a way, we said no.
In time, a sculpture of a man, woman, and child will be added here, a symbol of Anthony, Isabella, and baby William.
We will never forget our ancestors. It will never be forgotten.
The next generation of Tuckers,
I think it's very important,
is already preparing to pass the story on. Jessica Larche, Scripps News Group.
Well, planning a backyard barbecue this weekend will cost you a little more than last year. The Wells Fargo Agri-Food Institute estimates that hosting a cookout for 10 people will run about $161 this year. That's up 2.4% from last summer, with more people choosing staycations over travel. Experts expect backyard gatherings to get bigger and, with that, pricier. But it won't be just gas prices that will surprise you this holiday weekend. Joining now for more on the cost Americans are about to get a taste of is Robin Wenzel, head of Wells Fargo Agri-Food Institute. Thank you for joining us. This 4th of July has traditionally been seen as an affordable backyard holiday. Why are families feeling so much more pressure this year?
Hi, Andrew. Great to see you. You know, when we took a look at putting together our menu, as you said, for, a group of 10 to host a backyard barbecue, we put together kind of a diverse menu. But what really stood out right away was some of the costs of beef proteins, specifically ground beef. We are seeing that up 14% year over year. And this is really attributable to the record low herd count that we're experiencing right now. It's at an over 70-year low, and that's really driving up prices.
And barbecue staples are rising even faster than overall inflation. Why are we seeing food prices still hitting consumers so hard?
We are feeling the pressure with the food prices, but I will say if we look back a few years, it has cooled a bit, so there is some good news here. But you really have to be smart about where you shop. And so we can, look at a lot of the produce items, and it's really back to an issue of supply and demand. So I'll use tomatoes as an example. We get about, 90% of our tomatoes from Mexico. There were adverse growing conditions, and that's really driven up the price because there remains good demand. It's a similar story with other commodities that we see. I will say that with eggs, there's some good relief there. They're down 14%, so it is the year to make your deviled eggs or add it to your potato salad.
And is this an instance of we should just get used to this being the new normal, or do you see a future where some of these prices could potentially come back down?
We do see beef prices coming down as the herd starts to rebuild, but that is a multi-year process. I think perhaps in 2027, we'll start to see a little bit of relief with the pricing, but it is going to take some time. But, you know, when we look at packaged foods, prepared foods, there's a cost of labor that's built in there that, again, is going to be part of our new normal. And back to fruits, vegetables, produce, again, those are, you know, commodity driven based on supply and demand. We do a great job here in the U.S. of growing the vast majority of what we eat, and our farmers do a tremendous job of making sure that we stay as stable as we can. But, you know, you can't predict weather and growing conditions. So it's always going to be a mixed bag based on conditions.
And, you know, I think a lot of Americans, they understand that when they go to the grocery store, especially as they prepare for their 4th of July cookouts, barbecues, what have you, that they'll be paying more. But why is it exactly that people are paying more for some of these items? Is there some sort of structural thing that's going on in terms of food companies? Is there something that can actually, a policy prescription that could actually help bring things down maybe for next 4th of July?
I think from our perspective, what we're seeing is that it's really, again, some of the input costs. So labor, energy, all of that. You know, as that gets more expensive, it's going to get built into the cost of those items. Again, I'll go back to supply and demand. You know, when we have plentiful crops, we see pricing go down. When we have shortages, we're going to see pricing go up. It's just that basic economic function. But I think specifically, you know, for consumers saying, hey, this feels different, you know, there are labor costs and others that are built in. As we start to see, you know, maybe relief, if we do, in energy or diesel costs, we could see some softening of prices. But some of it, frankly, is going to be the new normal.
All right. Robin Wenzel, head of Wells Fargo Agri-Food Institute. Thanks for your time this morning, your insights, of course, and happy 4th of July.
Happy 4th. Thank you.
I'm Scripps News food and wellness contributor Jessica DeLuise. Coming up, we're making a fresh, no mayo, red, white, and blue potato salad ideal for summer celebrations.
The all-new Scripps Sports Network, your destination for live competition. All-access moments and game-changing shows.
Let's go!
The all-new Scripps Sports Network brings you closer to the game.
You know what time it is?
It's game time. We are relentless, stronger, louder, bigger than ever. We are here.
Yeah, I said it's game time.
There's some magic right there.
I said it's game time.
There drills it. Are you not entertained?
We are the WNBA on ION. Friday nights, all season long. It's on ION.
So what do you have in store for me today?
The best man just got a little better.
Getting ready for my big fight.
Who are you about to get in the ring with, arthritis?
Just being a Foxworthy.
Well, just knock it off.
Anything is possible!
It's clear, I did it again.
You keep me coming back for more.
Stay informed wherever you go with Scripps News on YouTube.
We're following breaking news at this hour.
Scan this QR code for a link or go to YouTube and search Scripps News. It's free to subscribe for alerts on new content, top news stories, investigations, full shows, and so much more.
There are stories that need to be told.
Plus, you can live stream Scripps News when you're away from your TV. Find Scripps News on YouTube today.
I didn't hear anybody knock. Shall we proceed?
My boss is the best shot in the whole world. Isn't it exciting?
They call you the rifle man. Just make it good.
ION is the home of women's sports. We celebrate the trailblazers, the risk takers, the game changers, and the history makers. Every game, every moment, it's her time on ION, the home of women's sports.
Jesse Palmer.
Emmett Smith?
Both of us together? This must be some kind of TV fantasy.
Nope, it's reality.
Tableau reality. Tableau lets you watch, pause, and record live TV subscription-free.
Pause you, Jesse. I'm here for 100+ channels. News, reality, movies, free live sports. Plus, it's game time.
Tableau. It's not fantasy, it's reality.
And a smart play.
Learn more at tableautv.com.
The MVP of TV.
Athletes Unlimited Softball League is on the Scripps Sports Network. These pros are bringing the heat. Next level power. Next level passion.
Catch it all right here
on Scripps Sports Network.
Saturday is the 4th of July. Gonna have a burger, a hot dog? Well, don't forget the side dish. And today we're sharing a potato salad recipe that'll stand out at any picnic. It's a dish that holds up outdoors, looks absolutely beautiful, and tastes even better the next day. Here's Jessica DeLuise with the recipe for you.
Hamburgers and hot dogs might be the headliners for 4th of July, but this red, white, and blue potato salad is ready to steal the spotlight. So we're using red and purplish blue potatoes. And the reason these are such great potatoes for potato salad is they are more waxy in nature. These actually don't get very soggy in potato salad. They hold their shape, so they're a great option. I've already washed these potatoes, cut them in half, and simmered them until they are fork tender. And fork tender just means I can easily pierce them with a fork. Not too mushy, not too soft. And then I pulled them out of that simmering water and let them completely cool in the refrigerator overnight. First, we'll make the dressing for our potato salad. I'm using a vinaigrette-based dressing versus a mayo-based dressing for the potato salad. I just think it holds up a lot better in the summer heat. In my measuring cup, I have red wine vinegar. Going to add some dill. This is optional, but I love dill in potato salad. You can use fresh dill if you have it. Dijon mustard. You could also use spicy brown if you prefer that. A little salt and pepper. We can always add more later, so we'll start off with a little bit, and then we'll taste it. The last ingredient always in a vinaigrette is your fat. So I'm using extra virgin olive oil. And the reason we wait until the end is because we want to emulsify this into the dressing, so we have a nice creamy dressing, and the oil and vinegar don't separate. So as you whisk, you slowly pour your olive oil in. Now, I think a perfect ratio for any vinaigrette is 2-to-1 oil to vinegar. You get that perfect sharpness and creaminess. Now we'll give this a taste for seasoning. Spot on. Creamy, sharp. So now we can prep the rest of our ingredients. Red onion. I love potato salad with red onion, but it can be a little bit sharp. So I have a trick for you. You're gonna slice your red onion. We're using about 1/4 of a medium red onion, and we'll dice this pretty finely. You can also grate your onion if you don't feel like you can dice it that finely. And we're gonna let it hang out in a little bit of water while we chop up our celery. Again, I would get a pretty fine dice on the celery if you can. Now this can go into our bowl with our potatoes, and we'll strain our onion and put that in the bowl too. Now we can pour this tangy mustardy vinaigrette over the potatoes and celery and onion. Toss it all together, give it a taste. The potatoes are firm but creamy. There's that hit, that acidity from the dressing, but the herbiness from the celery and the dill. Spectacular potato salad. Find this recipe at scripsnews.com/kitchenista.
And Jessica DeLuise joins us now again, another amazing recipe. All right, Jess, let's talk about those potatoes. Red Bliss, I mean, I go to the grocery store, there are so many different varieties. Why is that the right choice for a potato salad like this?
Sure. Good morning, Holly. Interestingly, there are thousands of varieties of potatoes. We might not just have access to them. So if you see Red Bliss, they're perfect for potato salad. 2 reasons in my mind. First, as I mentioned in that package, they're waxy. So they're going to hold their shape beautifully in potato salad. They're not going to break down and get soggy or mushy. The second is they have a really nice thin skin. So you don't have to go through the trouble of peeling them. Just give them a really good scrub. Cook them, and they're good to go for your potato salad.
Easy enough. And we notice here you're skipping the mayonnaise. So what makes this version better for outdoor gatherings?
Yeah, what tends to happen with mayo, Holly, is it will separate in the heat. So you might see this with macaroni salad or potato salad. You get the separation of the water and the oil, and it can look a little not so appetizing. So I really like an oil and vinegar-based potato salad. It just holds up in the heat a little bit better in my mind. The other thing is, no matter if it's mayo or oil and vinegar potato salad, always remember you should not have your food out for longer than 2 hours on a buffet for a gathering. If it's over 90 degrees out, you only have 1 hour before it becomes a breeding ground ground for foodborne illness. So 1 hour, 2 hours, if it's cooler than 90 degrees this weekend, I'm not so sure that will happen. Then you have to pop that back in the refrigerator to stay cool.
All right, and if you're getting ready for a big outing, what tips do you have for making this ahead of time, really without sacrificing flavor or texture, like getting mushy in the fridge?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is do not overcook those potatoes. So making sure that they are fork tender, or I like to say fork firm. That means you can easily pierce them with a fork, but not too easily. You want to have a little bit of give, a little bit of texture for the potatoes, and then they should hold up really nicely. And you can make this a day or two ahead of time, store it in the refrigerator, and then bring it to your gathering or serve it to your guests.
Perfect. Make it easy. When we all go home today, we can make it now. Thank you. Another great recipe, Jessica DeLuise. And you can find all of Jessica's recipes on scripsnews.com/kitchenista. Thanks, Jess.
Thank you. See you tomorrow.
Catch Me Up with John Lieberman premieres July 24th.
My kids can't hide anything from me.
I'm home.
Especially when they've been using toilet paper that doesn't hold up.
Charmin Ultra Strong has a diamond weave texture that's more durable. And it cleans better, so you can use less. Enjoy the go with Charmin.
Today we're unboxing Charmin Ultra Soft Smooth Tear. Wow! These wavy edges tear so much better than ordinary squares. And it's way softer. Charmin Ultra Soft Smooth Tear, definitely recommend. Enjoy the go with Charmin.
Athletes Unlimited Softball League is on the Scripps Sports Network. These pros are bringing the heat. Next level power. Next level passion.
Catch it all right here
on Scripps Sports Network.
Scripps is committed to telling the real story.
I have been known to spend hours to find what might become a smoking gun. I want people to understand what we've been doing because it's purely from scratch.
What we do as investigative reporters is we start to really dig in. There's actually a tree growing out of this bridge.
I know that I'm going to never give up. If there is something dark, Scripps News' goal has always been to shine light.
Stream Scripps News.
I didn't hear anybody knock. Shall we proceed?
My boss, the best shot in the whole world. Isn't it exciting?
They call you the rifle man. Just make it good.
Killer's on the loose. We gotta find him.
We've got 30 minutes before he strikes again.
They're officially on the clock now.
Why start killing again now?
We just found a connection.
Go building to building, door to door.
I'll do a cursory examination. We're right on the killer's tail.
I think you just found our serial killer.
The all-new Scripps Sports Network. Your destination for live competition. All-access moments and game-changing shows.
Let's go!
The all-new Scripps Sports Network brings you closer to the game.
The Upshot League is now on Scripps Sports Network, a new professional women's basketball league.
This is the league of opportunity, and we are so excited.
Watch the Upshot League on Scripps Sports Network.
Today, lots of you looking at how the nation's story continues to grow and evolve, including the descendants of the people who helped build this country. For them, the milestone is a chance to make sure that their voices and histories are included in America's legacy. Scripps News national correspondent Katia Tubman is live in New York with the latest on this. And Katia, you talked to those descendants who say that this moment is also about expanding how America remembers its own history. What did you find?
That's right, Del. We found that on this 250th anniversary, we're reminded that America's story, past, present, and future, belongs to and must include everyone. For many on America's 250th birthday, certain names come to mind.
We think about George Washington and the founding fathers.
But for some, this milestone is a chance to keep forgotten legacies alive.
My name is Brendan Narsa, and I am a direct descendant of Doll.
Narsa traced his lineage back to his sixth great grandmother, Doll, an enslaved woman who lived and worked on George Washington's Mount Vernon plantation in Virginia. NARSA is one of the inaugural members of the League of Enslaved Descendants, a group that's part of a growing number of Americans who can trace their lineage to America's founding families.
Doll had done so much, and her family had done so much in terms of aiding George Washington in the successful running of his estate and allowing him to do the work as the president, the first president of the United States. She was a very proud woman. I can see it in the way that she's posing in her portrait. She was definitely a proud person.
NARSA says honoring America's birthday means also remembering people like Doll.
She is a founding mother, for sure, of this country as well.
Doll. Ashe. Kitty. Ashe. Gabriel Jacobs. Ashe.
I see her in that same light as we celebrate a lot of these founding fathers, because without her and people like her, it wouldn't have happened. And so acknowledging that for others, for my descendants as well, I think is really important to keep our legacy alive and to allow people to know that they too have a stake in this founding of America.
That stake, now a torch being passed to the next generation. What are you going to do for the 4th of July?
I'm going to take my son to go see fireworks and speak about Doll to him. These fireworks are also for her too, because without her and many others, we wouldn't have the country that we have.
Now, NARSA says he hopes future generations will see the nation's founding as not an exclusionary history, but an inclusive one that touches all lives. Del.
Katie, I found out that one of my ancestors, Powell Luby, was actually one of George Washington's enslaved. I do that ceremony each and every year at Mount Vernon. About that inclusive history, how are we going to see it play out today?
Well, we are seeing it grow increasingly exclusive, unfortunately. One example we saw was a report that came out just several months ago, Del, that documented 15,000 examples of Black history and progress being erased within the first 8 months of President Trump's second term. And so NARSA and many others like him are fighting against this erasure, saying that there's no way to know where the U.S. is headed without knowing where we're coming from. Del?
Scripps News national correspondent Katie Tubman, live for us in New York. Katie, thank you very much.
You know, I love America. I'm glad that I was raised an American, and I love to see the flags flying. I am very dedicated to them.
Ella Darby has always been proud of her country. Even as a little girl growing up in Natick, Massachusetts, the military has always had a special place in her heart.
I come from a Navy family. My dad was in the service. My uncle was a commander on a base.
Which led her to making a life-changing decision.
All the boys were gone in the service, and it was very dull. And so I said to my mom one day, I think I'd like to join the Navy. And she said, if I were you, I would do the same thing. Wow. So that's what I did, and off I went.
Ella joined more than 350,000 other women who enlisted in the military during World War II under the WAVES program, which allowed women to serve in non-combat roles in the military. She was assigned to boot camp in New York. She had her heart set on California after basic training, but the Navy had other plans.
We landed in Oklahoma, and that's where I did my service. I was a storekeeper, and that was in an office, you know, and I was in there with all these men. It was fun.
What made it so fun?
The men.
Ella tells me she wasn't treated any differently compared to men, but adds it was helpful to have other women there, like her friend Doris, as they navigated this brand new journey together.
We were treated really well, and I'm so happy I did it.
Her time in the military did lead her to her future husband, who was serving as a mechanic in the Navy.
I would say it was love at first sight. I had to take a report over to the main office every day, every morning at a certain time. And every time I went, there was this man sitting on a porch, and he watched me, and I looked at him, and he looked at me, and daily we got a little closer.
The two would get married and got stationed in California. That would be the end of Ella's military career.
When I went in, I had to sign a paper saying I wouldn't get married. I got out of the service because I wanted to make sure I was with him all the time.
But that was the beginning of her job as a military wife, taking care of everything at home while her husband was serving. Fast forward to several decades later, where Ella has added to her titles as a mother, grandmother, and great-grandmother.
Oh, I'm so happy. I had a wonderful family, and they're still very special.
And as our nation celebrates its 250th anniversary, Ella is crossing her own milestone as she celebrated her 105th birthday, where she also reflected on her military service, from her dress, which was similar to the uniform she wore, to the patriotic music she danced to. And not far from her mind, the current service members who are now serving our country just as she did.
Oh, I love them. I'm proud of them. And they're doing their duty, and they probably enjoy it too.
Marie Cornell, Scripps News Group.
A focus on our First Ladies as we celebrate America 250. I'll tell you about an effort underway right now to get a national day in their honor. Plus, the role an important name here in Northeast Ohio is playing.
Join Allison Camerata for a celebration
2.5 centuries in the making,
honoring the people and places that are the fabric of America. 250 Celebrating America. Today at 4 on Scripps News.
How prepared is your family if disaster shows up at your doorstep? You can't just turn away a natural disaster. That's why it's important to go to ready.gov/plan before they show up. It has the tools and tips you need to make an emergency plan with your family. So if disaster comes knocking, let's go. You'll be ready to help keep your family safe.
It's just a pizza.
Yes!
Make a plan today.
We're serving up a showdown. From the court to the pitch. A touch. A cross.
Deflecting in!
Every volley is a chance at victory. Strike it. Spike it. Block it. Bury it. Don't miss any of the action.
You gotta love that.
Catch all the excitement from the NWSL and MLV on Scripps Sports Network. Athletes Unlimited Softball League is on the Scripps Sports Network. These pros are bringing the heat. Next level power. Next level passion.
Catch it all right here
on Scripps Sports Network.
You know what time it is?
It's game time. We are relentless, stronger, louder, bigger than ever. We are here.
Yo, I said it's game time.
There's some magic right there.
I said it's game time. There drills it.
Are you not entertained? We are the WNBA on Ion. Friday nights, all season long. It's on Ion.
Killer's on the loose. We gotta find him.
We've got 30 minutes before he strikes again.
They're officially on the clock now.
Why start killing her again now?
We just found a connection.
Go building to building, door to door.
I'll do a cursory examination. We're right on the killer's tail.
I think you just found our serial killer. I didn't hear anybody knock. Shall we proceed?
My pa's the best shot in the whole world. Isn't it exciting?
They call you the rifle man.
Just make it good.
Ion is the home of women's sports. We celebrate the trailblazers, the risk takers, the game changers, and the history makers. Every game, every moment. It's her time on ION, the home of women's sports.
I'm Katie Houston in Northeast Ohio, and as we celebrate America 250, I'm highlighting an effort to recognize a group of women whose commitment to country often goes unseen compared to their more famous counterparts. And I met a local man with presidential ties who's part of the movement to change that. The James A. Garfield National Historic Site in Menor is open daily for tours. You said you feel a sense of home here. You
Absolutely.
feel connected. But it's not every day you get the chance to talk with a descendant.
So I'm James A. Garfield III. I am named after the 20th President of the United States, who is my great-great-great-grandfather.
President Garfield and his family called this farm home from 1876 until his assassination in 1881.
You know, a lot of people don't know what a great president he would have been.
While his time in the White House was cut short, his legacy lives on, thanks in large part to his widow, First Lady Lucretia Garfield, who preserved the past for future generations. This beautiful library that she built in his honor after his death, which then, as history tells it, really kind of formed the basis for the presidential libraries that we know today.
It's just incredible. She built a vault in this library to house and protect the writings and his papers.
James is now part of a commission of presidential descendants, historians, and advocates looking to write a new chapter in honor of our nation's first ladies.
We have a President's Day. We do not have a First Ladies' Day. We don't have anything to honor these amazing women.
The commission is working to establish the last Saturday of April as an official national holiday in recognition of America's first ladies.
We need to have this day. We need to have a day that represents First Ladies and their commitment to the country.
Ohio is among the first states to officially recognize the day by issuing a declaration.
It's signed by Governor DeWine. It was signed last year.
It's on display at the National First Ladies Library and Museum in Canton.
And that's what we really collect.
Where I met the Senior Director of Collections and Research, Michelle Gullion. What stands out to you about our First Ladies?
All these women, the sacrifices that they make.
The museum and library house the largest single-site collection of First Lady history and memorabilia, including a letter from Lucretia Garfield.
Probably one of our most important documents that we have here.
Lucretia writes to the congressional committee tasked with settling the medical bill after President Garfield's death. She's fighting for equal pay, as the lone woman doctor was set to receive half the amount of the men.
And she says this is discrimination.
Did she get it changed?
Yes.
The National First Ladies' Day Commission is hoping for a yes from Congress or the President of the United States, and they want to make it a day of service.
For the most part, we would just love people to get out and do something for their community, and then remember the First Ladies.
This year, 4th of July celebrations are going to be a scorcher. We're talking about triple digits from New Orleans to New York. But come on, we're not going to let that stop us from celebrating America's 250th, are we? We may just need a little help on tasty cold drinks to serve to the entire family. So for that, we have bartender and drinks writer Caroline Eubank. She's also the author of A Boozy History of Atlanta. So glad you're here. I have been waiting for this all day. And you've got some mocktails, so cocktails without the oomph for the whole family, and you're playing off of the holiday.
Absolutely, yeah. There's nothing more summer, especially in the South, to me than sweet tea. You know, it's at every gathering at my family's house. So it's kind of nice to be able to add a little pizzazz to your sweet tea instead of just kind of having it in the traditional manner.
I love it. So that's what we're going to do first.
Yes.
Tea, apple pie. All right, show us how to make this drink.
Yes, so this one, we're going to start with this one. It uses our sweet tea. It's the Southern Sparkler, excuse me. And so I'm going to go ahead with that.
Okay.
Oh, actually, this was my bad. So we already have our glass filled with ice. And we're going to start with our sweet tea.
Which is going to melt really fast, but...
Yes, like it will outside this season.
Now this, like we said, is mocktail, no alcohol, so this is great for the whole family.
That's correct. This is something that anybody can have. I'm going to take my little lemon wedge here. So we just have that sweet tea, a little bit of lemon juice, and then we're going to top it with this sparkling apple cider, which I love for, you know, New Year's celebrations, that kind of thing.
Any celebration.
Yeah. And
or a Thursday.
Or just a Thursday. And we're going to top it off with that, and then garnish with apple and lemon, which we have here. And yeah, just kind of adds a little excitement to your sweet tea.
And now, where can you buy the sparkling juice? Is that anywhere? Grocery store? Do you have to buy it at a liquor store?
That's every grocery store I know of. I'm pretty sure this one came from our local grocery store. So
perfect.
Yes.
All right, I'm going to try it here.
So that's a good one to start.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, just like a little bit of apple. You obviously can't.
You have one too.
Oh, yes,
you can join me.
Cheers, of course.
Cheers. This is great. Happy 4th. But this is not the only one you have. You have a couple of these. And quickly, if you were someone who was watching their sugar, maybe you have diabetes, and you don't do sweet tea, could you do unsweetened and do a sweetener instead?
Absolutely, yes. You could swap it out with a little bit of, we also can do it with like a simple syrup or just go a little lighter on it. That would be very easy. Or I guess honey would work in place as well. Yeah, absolutely.
So good. I love the apple flavor in it.
Yeah, and if you wanted to add something else, make it a little more adult, you can do that. I think this one pairs well with bourbon or really whatever you're into. Kind of a dark spirit to go with the apple flavor, I think.
Now you're talking my language.
Yes.
Okay. What else do we have here? You have 2 drinks, yes?
Yes. So this is the red, white, and brew, which we've got our garnish here. And this one is a little on the sweeter side, so we go with the unsweet tea.
Okay.
And so we're just going to do a bit of it.
Could you brew your own tea as well?
You absolutely could, yeah. If you have time, absolutely.
I know some overachievers.
Are you one of them?
Maybe.
And then we've got this this strawberry syrup that we pre-made, but really simple syrup is fine as well.
How do you make a simple syrup?
You really just cook down. You add strawberry sugar and a little hot water and just kind of let it steep a bit until it turns into a syrup.
Okay.
They also make pre-made ones at the store if you'd like to do that. So we just add a dash of that there, and then with everything else, we're going to squeeze another lemon.
Lemon's perfect for summer.
Lemon has to go with everything, sweet tea and lemon.
This is great. And could you make pictures of these ahead of time? I see that
Absolutely.
we have some here.
Yes, so you could make this in a big batch for 4th of July if you would like.
Okay.
So that's definitely an option for a batch drink. Add a little more ice there. We'll get you a garnish, and we just did some fresh Georgia blueberries and strawberries, and there you have it.
That's
Here's another sip for you.
Very easy. All right, let's cheers this one. I'm going to try this one. I love this.
Yes.
Okay, here we go.
You can everybody move the garnish if you need to.
Without losing an eye. This one's not as sweet, so this is good for those who don't like such sweet.
Correct. So because it's that unsweet base, you can kind of add it, make it as sweet as you want using that syrup, kind of mix it in a bit.
And if I wanted to juice this up for the adult in us?
Yeah, I mean, I think this one, because it's a little more fruit forward, you could do, you know, your vodka, your whatever your clear liquors are as well.
And I know that you have a charitable arm, Hungry for Music. We have just a minute left, but if you could tell me about that as well.
Yeah, so Louisiana Sweet Tea has been doing stops around the country, and I think it's for every 1,000 sips that they hand out, I guess bottles of tea. They're handing out musical instruments, and I think they're up to 100 right now, but the rest of the summer, I'm sure people are going to be drinking a lot of tea.
How many sips? All right, well, we better start drinking up so we can raise money. Thank you so much, Caroline. We appreciate you being here, and happy 4th to you.
Same to you. Thank you.
Cheers.
I'm Scripps News Food and Wellness contributor Jessica DeLuise, and next we have a show-stopping dessert that combines cannoli, tiramisu, trifle, and summer berries into a patriotic dish.
The all-new Scripps Sports Network, your destination for live competition. All-access moments and game-changing shows.
Let's go!
The all-new Scripps Sports Network brings you closer to the game.
The 4th of July kicks off today at 4 with a special look at people doing good work in communities across our country. 2:50, Celebrating America, hosted by Allison Camerata. Then at 5, Scripps News coverage begins, taking you to celebrations around the nation with Happy Birthday USA. And from 6 p.m. on, our teams are live for all the festivities and fireworks in our nation's capital. Be here for Scripps News 4th of July.
The Upshot League is now on Scripps Sports Network, a new professional women's basketball league.
This is the league of opportunity, and we are so excited.
Watch the Upshot League on Scripps Sports Network.
Ion is the home of women's sports. We celebrate the trailblazers, the risk takers, the game changers, and the history makers. Every game, every moment, it's her time on Ion, the home of women's sports.
Athletes Unlimited Softball League is on the Scripps Sports Network. These pros are bringing the heat. Next level power. Next level passion.
Catch it all right here
on Scripps Sports Network.
Jesse Palmer.
Emmett Smith?
Both of us together? This must be some kind of TV fantasy.
Nope, it's reality. Tableau reality. Tableau lets you watch, pause, and record live TV subscription-free.
Pause you, Jesse. I'm here for 100+ channels. News, reality, movies, free live sports. Plus, it's game time.
Tableau. It's not fantasy, it's reality.
And a smart play.
Learn more at TableauTV.com.
The MVP of TV.
How prepared is your family if disaster shows up at your doorstep? You can't just turn away a natural disaster. That's why it's important to go to ready.gov/plan before they show up. It has the tools and tips you need to make an emergency plan with your family. So if disaster comes knocking,
let's go.
You'll be ready to help keep your family safe.
It's just a pizza.
Yes!
Make a plan today.
Killer's on the loose. We gotta find him.
We've got 30 minutes before he strikes again.
They're officially on the clock now.
Why start killing her again now?
We just found a connection.
Go building to building, door to door.
I'll do a cursory examination. We're right on the killer's tail.
I think you just found our serial killer.
Well, we are wrapping up our 4th of July recipes with food and wellness contributor Jessica DeLuise, who shares a dessert that steals the show this holiday weekend.
We're wrapping up the week with a dessert that brings it all together. My cannoli cream cookie trifle that layers classic, beloved Italian flavors with red, white, and blue berries for a patriotic, crowd-pleasing finale. Let's first make the whipped cream layer. Into our stand mixer, heavy cream, and we'll turn that on and whip it until it becomes nice and fluffy. And once peaks start to form, we'll fold in the rest of the ingredients. Vanilla extract, sugar. You'd also use a sugar alternative, and we're folding it as to not lose any of that fluffiness. Now, because this is cannoli cream inspired, we'll add some orange zest, which is really traditional in cannoli cream. Also going to pair so nicely with the fruit. And we can't forget about chocolate chips. We'll fold in the chocolate chips and the orange zest. I'm smelling the orange zest and the chocolate and that vanilla. This is gonna be so delish. And a quick taste. I could eat this whole bowl with a spoon. Okay, let's prep our fruit. Now, of course, you could use any fruit you want, but I'm using red, white, and blue fruit. And you do want pretty ripe, soft fruit. This dessert is a mashup between a classic trifle, cannoli, and a tiramisu. So that means instead of a sponge cake, which is in a trifle, we're actually using these lady finger cookies. I love these. I think sometimes cake gets too mushy, but these will add a really nice texture. I like to make this dessert in a clear bowl so you see all the beautiful layers. The fruit, the cream, the cookies. We'll start out. First layer is cookies. Next layer, I'm going to do fruit because I want the juice from the fruit to kind of permeate into the cookies and soften them up. So we'll add some plums, strawberries. No rhyme or reason here, just putting my red and blue fruit down. Make sure some is along the edge so you can see it. And some blueberries. Obviously, you want to make this dessert with clean hands. Next layer, this whipped cannoli cream. By using whipped cream, it's just so much lighter and fluffier than cannoli cream. And the base of that is typically ricotta cheese. Now another layer of cookies. Now fruit, more of that cream. And for this top layer, just take a little time and arrange your fruit in a pretty design. And how gorgeous is that? This will set up in the refrigerator for 4 to 6 hours or overnight until the cookies are softened. The fruit is sweet and tart. That whipped cream is so fluffy, and the cookies softened up but not too much. They have great texture. Spectacular. The best mashup you'll taste all summer. Find this recipe at scripsnews.com/kitchenista.
All right, Jessica joins me now. So this seems like a mashup dessert, if you will. What inspired you to combine all these different classics?
Good morning, Andrew. Yeah, you know, I wanted something fresh and light for the 4th of July in that summer heat, but I just couldn't decide between tiramisu or a trifle or a cannoli. I just wanted something that hit the spot, so I just combined all of them. And I think that's what's so fun about getting into the kitchen and creating new creations with your family in the kitchen. And you know, if you're creating a dessert at home, a tip that I have for the Scripps community is find things that have those complexity of flavors. They hit tart, sweet, bitter, and they have the texture, the cookie, the cream, the fruit. I think that's what makes the best desserts and the best dishes, is having all of those layers of flavors and textures.
Yeah, and of course, it fits the patriotic theme that so many of us will be trying to live up to this weekend. But how simple is this for someone to assemble at home?
Yeah, well, you saw, I mean, it came together so quickly. The most difficult part, and really not that difficult, is whipping the whipped cream. So you don't want to over whip that just until those peaks form, and then it's just about layering. And what a fantastic opportunity to get your kids involved. Maybe they can go to the store with you and pick out the blue and the red fruit that they want to eat in their dessert, and then they're more likely to try it and eat more of those nutrient-dense foods. So really special whether you're having a gathering or just relaxing at home with your family for the 4th.
And I like that you said it is light, it looks fluffy, especially because so many of us will be dealing with potentially triple-degree heat on the 4th. Any tips so it's ready to be best served?
I would say, you know, if you want to enjoy your time on the 4th and relax a little bit, go ahead and prep the whipped cream and the fruit maybe 2 days ahead of time. And then this is a dessert you have to assemble ahead of time. So assemble it the day before you want to enjoy it and take it out of the refrigerator just when ready to serve, because you want to make sure it stays nice and cold and that cream doesn't wilt. You know, so take it out of the fridge right before you're ready to serve and you should be good to go.
And what are you making for your 4th celebration, aside from this dessert, of course?
Yeah, well, definitely this dessert. And I was lucky enough to be invited to a party tomorrow for the 4th. So I'm making a salsa that we shared around Father's Day with our Scripps recipes. And instead of pineapple, I'm swapping in red plums. So you still get the sweetness, the tartness, and I'm pairing that with blue corn tortillas just to stay patriotic and on theme for America 250.
Very on theme. I will be offering up cheeseburgers and domestic beers. That's as far as I go. But
it's
maybe maybe you inspired me to go beyond my normal comfort zone. You can find all of Jessica's recipes on scripsnews.com/kitchenista. Jessica, good to see you.
Good to see you. Happy 4th, everybody.